Michele here. I think we should be good.
All right, and we're ready.
All right. Jeff, just give me a signal when you're ready for me to get started.
We're ready.
Okay. Well, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us here today. This is the first press conference that we're having at the Marathon LPGA Classic presented by Dana, and it's a very special one for all of us as we're getting to launch a brand new DriveOn spot with one of our rookies on tour, Haley Moore. And I'm very pleased to be joined today by Haley and also Haley's mom, Michele, and our Chief Brand and Communications Officer, Roberta Bowman. So before I get started chatting with this group, I wanted everyone to get a chance at 11 a.m. Eastern time this morning. We debuted Haley's DriveOn spot, 30-second spot, as well as a first-person piece written by Haley and a first-person piece written by Michele on the subject of what the spot will be. But I want everyone to see the spot first, so going to show that off. So why doesn't everyone take a look at Haley's DriveOn spot?
This is for every girl
and every boy who's been picked on and doesn't fit in.
For everyone that has been laughed at, stared at,
pointed at, or ignored.
People can be cruel, but they can also be kind. I learned what makes me different makes me stronger, and true confidence comes from within. I'm Haley Moore, and I drive on.
Powerful spot. And I'm sure, I know you've been busy out on the golf course and getting ready for the tournament this week, but the reaction on social media has been really strong. And so many people have been talking about how the spot has resonated with them, sharing words of encouragement for you and how excited they are to follow your career. So first off, just give me a little take on what it's been like to now see that spot out there and what it means to you.
It definitely means a lot. I have a really inspiring message for all young kids and adults who still go through bullying these days. And just to see this all come through together with Roberta's help and everyone through LPGA, just thank you. I'm so blessed to be part of this DriveOn story.
Well, thank you for sharing your story with all of us. And I want to talk to your mom for just a second. Michele, this piece is powerful for all of us to see, but I'm sure it's even more powerful for you as a mom watching it. And you shared a beautiful first-person story about what it's like to be a parent of a child who's bullied. And what does it now mean to see that spot? And what does it mean to see Haley being loved by so many people just around the world that have seen this spot already?
Yeah, the support is amazing. And, as a parent of a golfer, I believe it's really more important to be their best friend and not their coach, when they're playing golf. And bullied children really don't have a whole lot of friends, and there's even fewer safety outlets for them to go to when this happens. And so, for me, I wanted to play with not only mom, but as big sister. And, it's easy to just tell a child, oh, kids will be kids, it will get better. But most of the time that doesn't really work. So I just wanted to make sure that Haley had every opportunity to showcase her talents and make them better and stronger. And I've been her #1 fan the whole step of the way.
Well, you can tell that in everything you've done, and you've raised a wonderful daughter, and we're so excited to have her as a part of our tour. And I wanted to kick it over to Roberta. And Roberta, this spot is slightly different than some of the other spots that we've seen in DriveOn. What was the kind of driving force behind this? And, what does it mean to you now to see this piece out there and see the reaction that it's getting?
Yeah, and I know we've got some folks joining us today that may not have been part of our DriveOn story. So just in a word, DriveOn is the LPGA's campaign to celebrate that spirit of resilience and hard work and big dreams. And it's the platform that we have to tell our players' stories. We know that people care about golf and they care about the LPGA, but they care about people a lot. So our players are just rich in stories. And quite honestly, I have the world's best job in helping to shape those stories. When we introduced DriveOn, we said, obviously, it's not just about golf, and it certainly isn't just for women. And Haley's story was the perfect one to make that point. Depending on the statistics you read, somewhere around 30% of young teens worldwide experience bullying. And sadly, even though the types of bullying may have changed, bullying has been around for, well, forever. If you're a golf fan, you know a little bit about Haley. Some of the media on our call today, I saw Beth Ann is with us. Beth Ann, the folks at Golf Channel, they've all done a great job introducing us to Haley and her story. You know, Haley has always dreamed of playing on the LPGA Tour. And two of my friends and I were with her at the Q Series when she earned her card. And the ability to see someone achieve their dream is really pretty special. But there's a line in the video that I thought was so important. And that is, what makes you different makes you stronger. And in Haley's case, I think what makes her different makes her really special. She's easy to recognize and she's really hard to forget. And that combination, her fabulous personal presence and her terrific play on the golf course, give her an incredible way of connecting with people of all ages. And it's a wonderfully important platform. Quite honestly, the fun thing here is I think Haley's true story is just beginning, and we all get to be part of that next chapter.
Thank you, Roberta. And it is really special to be a part of this with Haley and to be able to tell her story to even bigger audience and really let her help tell that story. So I'm going to open it up for questions. If you have a question, please just send us a note in the group chat. I'll call on you with those questions and we'll get a chance to discuss. But I also want to introduce, we have some very special guests that are joining our media members here today. And they are some members of our girls golf program and our girls leadership academies, which we'll be calling on them a little bit later for some of their questions as well. So first up, I have a question. I can't really tell who it's from, so I'll call on whoever just sent me a message. And we'll go there. Beth Ann?
Okay, I'm unmuted now, I think. Yeah, so this question is actually for Haley and Mom. I'm curious if either of you have talked to kids who've been bullied, who've read your story or heard about your story on Golf Channel and reached out, maybe sharing their stories or looking for advice, or parents too.
Beth Ann, did you say that was for me?
Yeah, you both of you, if maybe you've heard from other parents or who've asked for advice or children.
A couple of times. There's one story that I can share with you. We were at, it was a Saturday morning, and ironically on Saturdays, my husband works as an ambassador at one of the local golf courses. And when Haley's home, because she's been so busy, we kind of go over there because the breakfast burritos and with the salsa are super good. So we go, oh, let's go mooch off Dad's account and let's get a breakfast burrito. So while we were there was actually going to be a junior tournament there later. So there were kids warming up, and a mother and daughter came over to us because they had recognized Haley and just started talking, loved her story. They didn't really, they didn't ask us a whole lot about bullying, but just, you know, they recognized her, they loved her story. They felt, you know, she was inspired, and, you know, and that actually wound up, the conversation wound up getting to the father, who happened to be like out on the course, who ran into my husband, Haley's dad. then it came full circle. And then, later when he got home, he started talking about it, wound up it was the same exact family. So it's been pretty cool. She definitely gets, recognized, and, people talk about it, and we talk about, hopefully being able to get her foundation off and running so that she can help people who have been in her shoes.
Thank you. Yeah, Haley, if you could speak to your foundation and what you'd like it to be one day.
Yeah, I would just love just to have basically tell my story of what had happened to me and how I overcame it. I think just telling the girls, telling all the kids like what I did to overcome it, and what just basically just tell them all the steps I did to process it, and just tell them like don't let other people judge you. You just keep doing what you want to do and everything like that.
Thank you.
Great. I'll call on Steve Eubanks next with our next question.
Hi, Haley. One of these days we are going to get back to having fans at golf events. And when we do, a lot of those fans are going to be kids who come up to you who want to share their bullying stories. When that happens, are you prepared for it? And what do you expect to say to them?
Yeah, I'll definitely be prepared. I mean, all stories are going to be different. So, I mean, there could be times where it may be a little more worse than mine, or they had experienced it way more. And so, I mean, we could both get emotional, but I'll always just kind of say my part in everything. And I'm just excited to share them and see how they have overcome it or what they want to have overcome from it. And so, I mean, as long as if they want some help, I can definitely get them in the right direction and everything.
Great. Thanks, Haley. I'm going to go to our next question. It's from Kyle Rowland.
For Michele and Haley both, just how uplifting has it been to get such a positive reaction from Haley's story?
It's pretty amazing. I find myself, she's shared it on her various platforms. I'm not as computer savvy as her, so I haven't figured out how to share it on Instagram yet, but I kind of go onto her Instagram account and see how many views and all the comments. And I mean, social media is truly just exploding. And, it's a very similar situation to back when, after she won the NCAAs, and then I had my first interview with Beth Ann. And, Beth put out a story about it, and the following that we got from that point on, it almost, it seems like that. And I know it's kind of coming full circle, adding my perspective and everything, but she's got so many fans, and it'll be really, really exciting, once we're able to play with fans again. Once they're able to play with fans again, I don't play, she plays. Once they're able to play with fans again, the following that she's going to have, and all the stories that we're going to hear, and hopefully we'll be able to help a lot of these people once the foundation gets up and running.
Haley, could you also touch on that, just how uplifting it's been to see the reaction?
Yeah, I mean, I played this morning in a pro-am over at Inverness, and once the story had been launched, I could just feel vibrations on my Apple Watch with everyone who was retweeting it and talking all about it and commenting, and everyone sharing it. And it's just great that all these platforms of LPGA, USGA Girls Golf, and other basically organizations are sharing it, as they will have kids who have dealt with this before. And I'm just amazed. And I mean, when we do have fans again, I'm just really looking forward to being who I am and just telling them everything that I had overcome, and just trying to help them get back to their normal life if they are struggling. I just hate to see kids just struggling with this type of stuff. I mean, it's not right for anyone.
So Haley, I know sadly over your upbringing, you were called some names. Fans today said that you are a super badass, and that's a compliment.
Oh my gosh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I've heard that before. I mean, from other people. Well, I mean, especially when I made the putt, and so for it to be more, just to be more special about how I overcome it, that was pretty cool. Thanks for sharing.
Thanks, Haley. Then our next question is from Louine Mayer. Louine, go ahead.
So you can hear me all right, can you?
Hear you wonderfully.
Okay. Haley, do you feel privileged to be in a sort of unique position and that you can really make a difference to struggling kids, can't you? I mean, to what extent do you realize that?
I realize, I mean, my story is truly powerful, and I mean, I want to help every young girl and boy, everyone who has been in. I think just being able to tell my story in front of a whole platform of kids who have been bullied. I mean, they have different stories too, and I just feel like my points that I will give to them definitely will help them. And I mean, I always want them. I want everyone who has been struggling to be able to get over it and not have to always go home thinking, oh, if I go outside, what are people going to think of me? Like, or if I see these kids again who are saying this stuff, I don't want them to spread it around to other people. I just want to figure out ways to get over it, and I just think that the messages that I will tell them, they'll be very thankful, and hopefully they can get it all back together and just see the light in their life again.
Have you ever answered people back when they've been bullying, or do you just sort of accept it and move on and just store it to realize that, you know, it'll be useful for you to pass on to others and how you coped?
I've had some people just approach me with kind of what has happened to them, and so I just kind of have told them my message, and they just respond like, thank you, I look forward to watching you compete, and I really hope we can meet in person one day and we can talk more. And so I just think just sending out all my messages is just very powerful to them as well.
Thank you.
Thanks, Louine. We're going to go back to Beth Ann for another question. Beth Ann, you're on. That's okay.
All right. Haley, I'm just curious when you felt like you were strong enough or ready to talk about this, because I would imagine that on some level, at some point, this would have maybe opened an old wound. When did you feel like it was time?
I pretty much kind of felt it kind of during my college years. I mean, when I came out my freshman year, coming in second right away, I mean, I was still a pretty young girl and I was still pretty shy and everything, but I feel like it really did take off during the nationals when we did win the national championship together as a team, just because we all came together, and I mean, I overcame a lot to even get to college, and like I just knew that my teammates and all my coaches knew what was going on, and I think with them hearing my story, and they just always wanted to protect me, and they knew that they were always there for me. And so I think just pretty much right during my college, the perk of my college career when it all had happened, was when everyone was, I think, now on the lookout and really wanted to follow me and wanted to follow me and keep following me throughout my whole career.
Thank you.
All right, I'm now going to go to Ophelia from our girls golf program. She has a few questions for you. Ophelia?
Thank you. Hi, my name is Ophelia Manuel. I'm 10 years old and I'm from Girls Golf University of Miami. It's an incredible honor to meet you and get to know you. You've had a remarkable career, making 2 LPGA Tour starts in 2015 at only 16 years old. For my first question, what mentally prepared you to compete in LPGA events, and what was it like, and how did it feel?
To mentally prepare for an LPGA event, it's definitely a lot different. I mean, you see these girls, you watch these girls on TV who are just hitting these shots, and you're like, I want to be here one day. And so I think you just have to kind of just watch kind of how they play, and then you just kind of compare your game to theirs and be like, okay, like I have this, okay, my driving is good, and then just kind of just keep practicing how you are practicing. I mean, everyone has a different practice routine and everything, and I just think that has really helped me out here, just kind of getting to know some more girls and everything and just stuff like that.
Thank you. I love that. You played at one of the best golf colleges, the University of Arizona, and were selected by your coach to be the anchor for your team, sticking the winning putt for the 2018 NCAA Women's National Championship. Can you walk us through those final moments and tell us what that was like?
It was definitely exciting and nerve-wracking at the same time, just because it wasn't the 19th hole. It all had come down to me, and I was just like, I mean, I could see my teammates in the corner. I was like, they're all huddled up, and I was like, oh my gosh, like I have this putt to win the national championship, and it was a goal of mine to compete for one when I was at U of A my 4 years, and just walking up to the putt a little nervous, I just kind of just took a deep breath, and I was like, okay, you got this, like, you can do it. And right when it went in, I just saw my teammates run over, and both of my coaches were just so emotional, and I mean, it was a great moment for all of us, and it'll be a moment that I'll cherish forever in my heart.
I saw the video of it. It was so amazing to watch it.
Thank you.
It made me so happy to watch it. Last year, I saw you at the 2019 Augusta National Women's Amateur, where you tied for 7th place. My family and I were in awe of what you did, what you and all those ladies were doing to help the game of golf grow. From the beginning, you've been able to pave roads for girls like me. What drives you to do that?
I think just competing, and just keep competing. To be able to play at Augusta was just a dream come true. I mean, everyone wants to go play there, and so I think just for the greatest amateur women golfers to go out there and play and show all these younger amateurs that, hey, this tournament is very up and coming for you guys. You can definitely go out there and play your best and get an invite to this event. And I think just playing competitive golf just drives me to get better and better every day, and knowing to get my next step of coming out here, competing with the pros, and one day winning a big tournament out here.
Thank you. One of the unique things about your story is that we can all relate to feeling different or not fitting in. During this time of uncertainty, what do you say to empower young people? How can we grow as a people during this time and go from being cruel to kind?
Just don't let those people judge you of how you look, or if you say weird, or if you have weird sayings, or if you talk different. Just keep doing what you want to do. Like, if you have a dream it. If you want to get there, you always have to believe in it, and once you achieve it, you'll be the greatest one that everyone will talk about and everyone will remember about you.
You are definitely that.
Thank you.
Ophelia, I got to tell you, Beth Ann and Louine and Kyle, they're getting worried right about now. You brought game to this. You are awesome.
Yeah, that's really good.
All you guys are awesome.
Ophelia, I'll just echo what Roberta said. Thank you for your great questions, and really, really insightful. And I do know we love aspiring journalists too, so you might have a career in that field.
Thank you. I just want to thank you all for doing this. I have to say, as the girl that's playing golf, the campaigns that you guys have been doing is really inspiring. I've watched a lot of them, and it's really amazing to see all the player stories.
Well, thank you, Ophelia. We really appreciate it. And we can't wait to hopefully one day tell your story right alongside Haley's.
Thank you.
We have another question in. I'm going to go back to Louine. Louine, go ahead.
Thank you. Haley, all girl golfers want to win. They want to be the winner. And yet you've got such goodwill from all your sister competitors. You know, has it surprised you? Did it surprise you in the amateur tour? And is the goodwill towards you the same on the pro tour, or do you feel it even more strongly?
Yeah, I always want to always compete to win, and definitely having the competitive edge of being in college, and having people say that, like, watch out for Haley Moore. She's a great amateur golfer. She's up and coming in the pros. I think just hearing that is knowing that I have the game and I have the tenacity to go out there and play with these girls. And just, you just never know one day I could just come out there and play really well and actually be able to win.
And you feel their kindness and their warmth towards you, Haley, do you?
Yeah, I do, definitely.
And did you expect that?
Kind of yes, kind of no. It's a little bit of 50-50.
Okay.
Haley, I know in your first person story, you talked about what that has meant, seeing some of the other LPGA players come up and talk to you and welcome you like just one of the many players that are out there on tour. Does it mean a lot to feel that sense? You talked about at Arizona, that feeling of team, but still having that feeling of family out on the LPGA now as well?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when I played the ANA in 2015 as an amateur, I met some pros out there, and I mean, one really girl who's been out here a while is Christina Kim. I mean, she was at Q Series with me as well, and we both got our cards, and we're just, she's always going to be looking out for me. I mean, the tournaments when my mom or no one from my family will travel, she'll be like my tour mommy, just to make sure that I'm always doing okay and just making sure that I'm getting involved with the tour and just making sure that I'm doing everything good. And so I think just getting to know some friends out here and getting to know some girls who have been out here kind of create like a little kind of family pod, I think is just very helpful out here.
And Haley, I know you played a lot, even during the downtime. You were able to find some Cactus Tour events, went out there and won some of them. What has that been like then, getting you back ready for the restart on the LPGA Tour, and how much confidence now did you bring in to coming back and playing on tour?
My game's pretty confident with the top level as of now. I mean, I won my last two events with really good scores, really low scores, 64 and 62, and one of those events, he did an all-pro tour, all-pro event, so all pros played, and so, I mean, I got to play with Anna Nordquist and Elena Sharp and some other good pro golfers who were in the Phoenix area, and so, I mean, to compete with them on a mini tour, just kind of, I mean, I learned from them, and I think just playing alongside them just kind of can show how competitive my game is compared to theirs, and to be able to compete out here with them too.
Wonderful. I'll put one last call out for questions from anyone else. I think we've got one more from Louise.
Sorry. Haley, can you give us your schedule for the next few weeks, please?
Okay, so we'll be here at Marathon, and then I will be going over to Scotland to play the Scottish Open. I'm not in the British yet, but I'm hoping to have a good week either here or in Scotland to earn my way. But if I don't, I'm excited to go over to Scotland. I mean, the golf is amazing back there. The weather can be different every hour, but I'm just excited to just go out, just keep traveling around the world. And after that, I'm in the Walmart, and then after that, I think we'll just kind of go from there. I mean, some of the tournaments are down to limited field, so I'm not sure if I'll get into those ones, but I'm just excited to be back out here playing. I mean, the world is different right now, but just to be back out playing what I love to do is just great.
What do you know about the Renaissance where you'll be playing?
Nothing.
And how much do you want to be in the Women's Open?
I've heard great things about Royal Troon. I mean, I've played Royal Melbourne in Australia, so I mean, I feel like any course that has the word Royal in front of it definitely has some history and background. So I mean, if I would be able to play in the British, it would be something very special, and definitely, I mean, it's the first major as well for the LPGA. So I mean, I think to start off like that would be pretty cool.
Wonderful. I don't think we have any more questions from the media, so I'm going to end it with just one question for Haley, Michele, and Roberta. And Haley, it's all really the same for all of you, but Haley, as you look at this spot now, and you've seen it and you've seen the reaction, You know, we heard from Ophelia, we've heard from, you know, other young girls that are on this call. What do you hope that they take away from your message? And what do you hope that they see when they watch your 30-second drive-on spot?
Yeah, I mean, I just want them to feel themselves. Like, don't let those cruel people who are telling you stuff to judge you. Just go on and do what you want to do. I mean, if it's playing golf or playing any sport that you want to do, just go out there and keep doing you. I mean, you'll get looked at, but just try to wipe it away from your mind and just keep going. And it's always great to set goals. So always set goals, and when you set goals, you always achieve it. And so once you achieve all those goals, then you'll be a name for yourself, and everyone will start talking about you and everything.
That is a very powerful message, Haley. And Michele, you must be very proud as a mom to hear that. And just wanted to ask you, Michele, what do you hope that parents, as they watch this spot and read your story, will take away from this?
I just hope that, you know, parents know that, I mean, just, and just try to, you know, keep the same message going, that every person is unique, and, you know, don't let anybody tell them that they cannot do anything. You know, we kind of, 3 words that we've kind of used throughout this process is dream, believe, achieve. And it doesn't matter how different you are, everybody has a dream, everybody can, you know, then you believe in it, and then you go out and achieve it, and don't let anybody stop you.
Thank you, and that is so powerful. And I know as a parent to a young daughter, when I read your piece, I did cry, because it was just so strong and so moving. And Haley, your piece as well. And I know, Roberta, we've had a lot of amazing stories from our players, and this one is definitely a special one that we think will resonate to a lot of people. And what do you hope that people get out of this latest drive-on spot?
Well, I actually have 2 thoughts. If those mean girls and boys at Bear Valley Middle School could see Haley now. And the other, I'm going to just quote a really wise LPGA player, and she says something like this: "We're all born perfectly for what we're meant to accomplish in this life." And I think that Haley's greatest work on the golf course, and perhaps as importantly off the golf course, has yet to come. So to her, a hearty drive on.
Those are the perfect words for us to end on. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this afternoon. Haley, best of luck this week.
Thank
we
you.
look forward to seeing all of the amazing things that you're going to accomplish in your career on the LPGA Tour, and also the message that you'll be leaving with so many others through telling your story. So thank you, and drive on.
Thank you.